background of your education?
New York University. Where I entered the Graduate School of Library Science at UNC in Chapel Hill, and finished up my library science program at UNC.
Where was the first job you got after you graduated from UNC?
I can remember. You mean graduate or undergraduate program?
Graduate program.
I was librarian at Frank Porter Graham Elementary School for 1 year, and then I transferred to Guy B. Phillips for junior high. Phillips.
Why is that?
Because the kids are older, more independent. At Frank Porter Graham, they're still babies. They can't do much on their own.
Right. Can you tell me about some of your teaching experiences or your librarian experiences at Frank Porter Graham? Some of the worst times and some of your
The
better
worst
times?
experience was when a teacher would have trouble with a child in the classroom and would just send that kid to the library for the librarians to deal with him and get him out of the classroom. Of course, that never worked too well, because I just sent the kid back to the classroom.
What about one of your better memories?
Well, it's always gratifying to see the kids understand how to research a topic and find the answers to the questions that they have all by themselves, just by doing the research and using the reference books that the library has.
Give me an example of what you would do on a daily basis, like a normal day for you at Frank Porter Graham Elementary School.
Well, in the morning, there was always lots of straightening up and cleaning up to do, because kids never put books back where they belong. And then all throughout the day, teachers would send requests to the library. They'd either want audio-visual materials, films and slides, and they'd need projectors in their room, so we did a lot of that. And then teachers would bring their classes to the library, and I'd teach a research and reference class. And the new books that came in would have to be classified and cataloged and entered into the collection. Because that doesn't happen anymore.
accomplishments as a librarian?
Well, I got to meet a lot of the kids in the school. And I think I got some of them to be interested in reading and interested in working on research projects.
Did you get any reward, any trophies or achievement, scholastic achievement awards when you were at the library?
Well, mostly it came from the parents who would send little notes saying, "Thanks for helping my child."
Did you have any parent volunteers come in to help you at the library at all? No.
But I had student volunteers.
Right. Would they would just come in, or did you have to select them?
It's a very big honor to be a library assistant.
Right. Why don't you give me some of your opinions about education issues today?
It's pretty sad. I think the public schools are in a big mess. I think that kids are not learning because they have no respect for the system. They're just, in general, rowdy in the classrooms. And I think that a lot of time is wasted by setting up different educational programs that don't work. And so, like they have, the elementary school kids go from one group to another group to another group around the classroom. Like, this is your reading group, and this is your math group, and you play games in each group. And I don't think that really teaches them anything, because they don't have to sit down and concentrate. The whole thing is like a game.
So you would say there's a lot of behavior and discipline issues in the classroom, inside the classroom as well as in the library, when they come in to do lessons at the library?
No discipline problems in the library, because I throw them out.
When you were a librarian at Frank Ford Graham, did you get any professional associations, or were you a member of any professional associations or services while you were there?
I belong to the North Carolina Teachers Educational Association. The librarians are not very well organized. At least back then they weren't. But just about that time, like in the late 1960s, libraries stopped being libraries and they started being media centers. Media center to me is totally different from a library. A library is a place where you go to find the answers to problems and to read and study. And a media center is just a lot of computers and video machines, and it's just a whole different approach.
Interesting. Describe your working environment while you were at Frank Porter Graham Elementary School.
Oh, it was a nice school. It was a new school, new library. It was just at the time of integration in the schools, where white kids were going to class with black kids. And so there was a little turmoil, but it wasn't too bad. It was mostly under control, at least with the little kids.
Now, did you work with all age groups, or did you just work with everyone? So first,
all age groups.
Through fifth. What about the working environment over at Guy B. Phillips?
Junior high school is a jungle, an absolute zoo. The kids have no discipline. They don't know where they're going. They don't know why they're in school. And it's worse than high school, because at least in high school they know they have to prepare themselves for something after school. But junior high, they're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
So your preference would be elementary school? Uh-huh.
No, I like working with older kids, but I like working with older kids who are capable of concentrating in school.
Right.
So many of them can't concentrate in school. You know, they're busy looking at clothes and shoes. And what are we doing after school? That sort of thing.
Right, right. So coming away from the librarian, as a teacher, what grades did you teach?
I taught 3rd, 4th, 5th. I taught junior high, French and social studies, because that was my major in college. And mainly in high school, I just substituted.
Mm-hmm. What do you remember the names of the schools that you were at?
Well, Phillips, and then what is the name of that school in Hillsborough?
Orange High,
Right?
Stanford or Stanback Middle School?
No, in the elementary school.
Cameron Park Elementary School?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Mm-hmm. Which one did you like teaching at the best?
Doesn't really matter. I mean, it's just the kids in the classroom.
Right. If you were to give some words of advice to people looking to become librarians, what would you say to them?
Well, I think if you have to decide what field you're interested in. For example, I worked at the Duke Law Library as an assistant librarian. But to advance in a law library, you have to be a lawyer. And if you're interested in medicine, then you work in a library in a medical school. But you have to have some sort of background. Just being a librarian is not enough. You have to have some sort of medical background to qualify you for the job. And if you're a teacher, then you're probably going to be interested in school library work. It helps to have a background if you go into a specialized library.
Mm-hmm. What's your prediction of the future in education?
Well, I think it has to be completely redone. I think schools need a code of conduct and they need some way to enforce it. And, you know, there's too much.
910-695-1118. We're sorry we're not available to take your call, but if you leave a brief message, we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
I think the students have too much freedom, and I think they do better.
I don't want to talk to you, I want to talk to your wife. And wish her
I think they do better if they know what the plan is
thanks for the invitation.
and that they have to follow
But
the
I'm not
plan.
very good
I mean, you
guess.
just can't go to school to hang around with your friends.
Thank you anyway. Happy birthday
You
first.
could go
Bye.
through 4 years of school and never learn a thing if all you want to do is hang out with your friends when you get there.
Right.
I think that kids need a lot more guidance in school. I don't think the schools are giving them enough guidance. They're not helping them out enough to find out where they want to go. And unfortunately, in the classroom, the teacher has to teach to the lowest element. And so the brightest kids in the class don't get as much attention as they should because everybody's bunched into one class. I kind of believe in separating the kids according to ability. That's the only way a teacher can work with them.
Well, those are about all the questions I have to ask you. Thank you for taking the time to be interviewed. And thank you for listening.